Hello, hello, it's Elena with you, and our incomparable Elena is at work. Let me remind you that she's our top specialist in podology. And just look who came to see us. This is the kind of toe we have here, and wait before you jump to any conclusions. I want to tell you this story first. It's a little sad in some parts, but it will have a good ending. This will be a long video in which we will have a total of 3 visits. So from this condition to fully healed, in short, everything there will be great. So a grandmother came to us, or rather her granddaughter brought her, and the grandmother has this kind of problem. Now I'll tell you what happened here and why it's such a mess. So the grandmother has cancer and diabetes, and of course, as usual, her pension is quite small. They came to us through our free program. If anyone doesn't know, we take on difficult cases, we invite models for our content, and of course, at the same time, we try to help those people who simply can't afford to pay for the services. I understand that it's not cheap. So we decided to do it this way. It's good for you and it's good for us. So we decided that this time we would save the grandma. The story is like this. She has a small pension and all her money goes to managing her diabetes. I won't even comment now on what kind of clothes Lena pulls out of her. They're just enormous. This problem has been bothering grandma for over a year, maybe 2. It's been growing for a long time. And on her right leg, she went to a surgeon at a private clinic. They operated on her there for 5,000 rubles, cutting and removing something. And there, the healing is more or less progressing. And for the second toe, she simply didn't have enough money because she said she needed to buy medicine for her sugar and all that. So she's saving up. She lacks the financial means, so she visited the free clinic. Now there's going to be a funny story about our free healthcare. I don't even know, it's just, well, you can't really say those kinds of words here, but honestly, I'm in shock. I don't know where these doctors studied. I usually don't criticize anyone or put anyone down publicly, but this is just a complete disaster. On this finger we're working on right now, there's a severe inflammation because the nail is ingrown. And over there is that so-called doctor. I wish him lots of happiness and health. He said, I don't know what's wrong with you, it's probably a fungus, let's just use antifungal medications. And my grandmother, after listening to the doctor, would apply and wrap those antifungal medications on her skin overnight or something like that, and they ended up eating away all her skin. As you saw in the middle, at the beginning of the video, if you look at her pad, at her little cushions, everything there is just raw flesh. It all got eaten away. It's just... You can't do that, antifungal. I usually scold you for taking them without a doctor's prescription, but here it's a disaster. The doctor prescribed it. Perhaps she missed that lesson during her medical education. Well, I just don't get it. How can you prescribe antifungal medication for an inflamed wound? I honestly just can't wrap my head around it. And here is our second toenail, the one where something was removed earlier at a private clinic. The cost of the surgery is 5,000 rubles, I already mentioned that. And here, more or less at least, there is no inflammation. More or less everything is healing. There are some nuances, they do wander around a bit here and there. By the way, if anyone asks, the nippers are 0.5. Actually, thank you for coming up with them there. I know they were made with the help of a little grain of sand. This is Lena, the one I've been talking about, who we're learning from. She's great and developed these excellent nippers. So basically, we didn't really touch much here, just removed a few extra bits and let grandma go in peace. Now, I want to say that her inflammation started to go away after just 3 days, and she was honestly so happy she was moved to tears. She was happy that, as it turns out, everything could have been done for free. Well, I understand that it was kind of a special offer. Well, basically, it was meant to happen and Babuli was lucky and we met with her. Of course, we're not a charity foundation here and we don't work for free, but there are situations when it's just necessary. And you see how well everything turned out. I have the opportunity to show you such a difficult situation. Yes, let's not forget that this is a diabetic foot. You just shouldn't breathe on it. If anyone doesn't know, with diabetes, healing is very difficult. There are problems with wound healing, with blood clotting and so on. And with such people with a diabetic foot, if you don't know how to handle it, God forbid, I beg you, I implore you, please don't work with them. It's very dangerous. Look, pay attention, there's already a micro wound. So if you just pull the skin a little, try to cut off the scab, and that's it. There's already flesh underneath, and here there's already a danger of how it will heal. But I can say for sure that it did heal, and you'll see that further. But still, if you're not confident, if you don't understand how to work with such clients, I almost said patience, but it's almost the same, then I beg you, I implore you, send them to someone you know, to someone who can handle it. And now, while Lena is cleaning up for us, while Lena is working, let's talk a little about these messages I get in my direct messages. Well, they send me a photo of some nail, and there's something growing there, something hurts. And my favorite comment is something like, you know, I live in a place where we don't have any doctors, we don't have any podologists, we don't have any dermatologists. Basically, there's no one there, and they also don't have any tools, and they can't go anywhere. Please help me remotely with the power of thought. But guys, I just can't. I'm not a magician. I don't know how to do that. No matter how much I want to, I can't help remotely with the power of thought from a distance. If you really are in pain, then pull yourself together, get to a place where there are such specialists, and you will get help. Many people across Russia engage in similar practices, and we are not alone in this. Well, I can't vouch for abroad, but still, if there are Russian specialists there, they will do it too. We have a lot of really good specialists, very competent, really amazing podologists in general. Well, there are plenty. These are solvable issues. It's much easier to solve such a problem in a podologist's office than with a surgeon who will just cut it out, and then, well, it's kind of unclear, and on top of that, they'll just tell you to apply an antifungal. It wasn't the surgeon who said that. However, I can't get over my frustration about this topic. By the way, you asked for faces, and here they are, right here with us. Lena draws them with ears. It's very easy to tell me and Lena apart. I just draw a face, but Lena always adds ears. Look, the little finger came to us after a few days. See how cool it became? It's like night and day. Just look, it's amazing. Almost everything is gone. The inflammation has subsided, but there's still a little bit of redness. And now we have access to this side cushion. Yes, it's open for us now. And here there will be a small piece left, and it will become clear that the nail is very twisted, that is, it's really curled. Well, of course, this is not a matter of just 1 year. Yes, that is, it accumulated, it built up and so on, but what can I say? Look how cool, it's already dry, this granuloma has already receded. Yes, it's not as big anymore. The wound, thank God, has healed, and now there are really serious, significant changes. Grandma was overjoyed to the point of tears. And for something like this, it's really worth working. I also want to say thank you to my granddaughter, who takes care of Grandma, helps with the dressings, and washes everything. Her legs look clean and beautiful. Everything looks good here. I can't say whether there is a fungus here or not. That's completely outside my area of expertise. We can only say whether the client has a fungal infection or not after tests have been done. And there's another nuance. Not every test will show the presence or absence of fungal spores the first time. The thing is, we can't track which specific laboratory the test was done in, whether they do a good job or not, which lab technician worked on it, or how long they examined the sample under the microscope. We just can't know all that. Sometimes, during a visual exam, it's obvious something is present, but the client's results indicate everything is clean, everything is fine with me. But sometimes we ask to do the test again. And that's exactly why we even made an agreement with the laboratory so that they would collect these very sterile test tubes from us. Because we understand that it's very difficult for the client to get there. Well, basically on foot, let's say, from our office to the office where these tests are accepted. That's why we try to shorten this path as much as possible. Yes, it's unpleasant in itself that sometimes you have to take the test twice, but, well, what can you do? There's nothing you can do about it. Well, in general, I want to say that Here's another piece, by the way. Yes. That is, if you have the goal to solve this issue, well, you'll go and you'll keep submitting. The human factor exists everywhere. Our tests are not reviewed by machines, microscopes, yes, but not machines. Look how wonderful he is. Lena is already stroking him. She already loves this little finger, I know. But after some time, this little finger has already come like this. You can clearly see serious changes. Grandma is preparing to depart. From what I gather, they are heading somewhere to unwind. So for now, we'll put a corrective system on her. And we gave all the care instructions, all the details to her granddaughter. Of course, Grandma is under our supervision. We exchanged phone numbers and she sends her questions or photos of the condition of her nails to the administrator. Everything is passed on to us, so it's all under control. We always try, even if the client has gone somewhere or can't come for a while, we also monitor things remotely as much as we can, so that the person doesn't feel abandoned, not to mention left behind. Of course, that's not exactly the right word, but it's just so the person understands that they're being looked after, that we try to control this process and won't let anything go unattended. That's why we have this kind of system in place. Well, honestly, not just a good one, but an excellent one. So, we've placed the tampons, and now we're moving on to one of my favorite parts. This is the placement of the titanium thread. You keep asking all the time, where can you actually get all of this? Let me explain. We buy all of this at a dental store. That is, there's a store where dentists get their supplies. They sell these wires there, the titanium threads as we call them. These are the wires that are used when installing a braces system. And this gel that is dried with a special lamp, it's a composite material that's used for filling teeth. So when we have cavities, they use this material to fill our teeth. And I want to say that this gel is really serious. Listen, it holds really well. But sometimes the correction system, specifically this one, it just snaps off, it unfastens. I myself walked in winter with 6 nails with this correction system, meaning the big second and third toes on both feet were corrected because they had become very, very curved. I also tend to wear gel polish for too long. I talk about it myself and I've done it myself. So in the end I had to basically redo everything, how should I put it, rebuild everything basically on my feet. And you know what? These titanium threads come off when exposed to high heat, meaning the nail plate softens and they can just snap right into place. I went to Furaco, it's a kind of hot bath, and at some point it just went ding and flew off. On one side it's this very thread. Well, actually the problem isn't even that they were somehow installed incorrectly for you, it's just about their use. Usage also plays a role. You must learn to apply gel polish and use titanium threads. Regardless, you can come here for a correction and we will reinsert them. The fixation will be in 3 places. This is another finger after the surgeon removed it. And after all this, we let our grandmother go and wish her a speedy recovery. And as soon as she returns, we will invite her for another appointment and see how she's doing. And regarding the titanium threads, a strong request not to wear them for too long. They are placed closer to the growth zone because the nails are softer there and correction is easier. If it grows together toward the free edge, there will be a reverse effect. The nail will simply turn inside out or even break completely. Well, in general, here is our before and after. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye bye, see you next time, and don't forget to subscribe.